folks seem to like my make an NPC with me, so I decided maybe do make a monster with me. Sometimes I like to create my own monsters to put in the game. Oftentimes I use already existing monsters and just change them slightly, that's easiest, and sometimes I like to make completely original things like what you see here. Unlike making an NPC or a player character, I like to actually just come up with the stats rather than roll for them, but sometimes it's fun to add a little randomness to it. And I just prefer to make kind of like a rough sketch of, what do I really need to know for this monster to be in part of my game. I'm eventually going to make this a properly fleshed out. You'll be able to find it on my itch. I was going to call it a channel. How about my itch page? You'll be able to see like a proper, as if it was part of a monster manual entry with a fully fleshed out description and things like will saves and fortitude saves and all that other business. But basically what I have here is the Eye Stalker. These are little floaty guys that like to use hypnotism and suggestion to try and separate party members from each other, and then they can gang up on the ones that are kind of isolated. And in a game I'm running, my characters, or I should say the characters of the players that are playing with me, are about to encounter 3 of these things. So I thought just to add a little bit of rolling, since these guys have 2 hit dice, and the average of that would be 9 hit points, but I'd like to have a little variety. So I'm actually going to roll for the hit points of each of the 3 individual Eye Stalkers that would be in this campaign. And this is why I like to do that 15. So we're going to have one particularly powerful Eye Stalker with 15 hit points. This kind of helps keep your players off balance. If they get an idea of how many hit points a monster has, they can start to strategize a little easier. And it's not that we always want to make everything difficult on our players, but sometimes it's nice to kind of keep them off balance just a little bit. So that one's got 8, and then the last one in this small clutch of Eye Stalkers is going to have 10 hit points. So we have 2 that are very close to the average, and one that's very clearly the leader, the 15-point Eye Stalker. That'll be a little bit harder to kill than the other ones. So hopefully you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and eventually check out my itch channel. That's chainmailsupernova.itch.io. I will include a link once this is actually ready, and you can download the PDF and use it in your game if you like. Take it easy.